Are you looking for a way to help your brick-and-mortar business drive more traffic and increase your sales? Look no further than the Receipt Paper Podcast. In this podcast, Joanne and Kyle provide their sage advice on how to make your brick-and-mortar store the hottest spot in town. Whether you're just launching a new business or trying to grow an existing one, these informative episodes will leave you inspired. In each episode, Joanne and Kyle take on a different topic related to running a successful business. They offer practical tips based on their own experience as owners of multiple brick-and-mortar locations. So whatever challenges you're facing, they have actionable advice for you. From finding a location and executing your build-out, to merchandising and customer experience, to sales and marketing, Joanne and Kyle have you covered. With helpful advice from these experienced entrepreneurs, you are sure to learn how to increase your sales and have your business running out of receipt paper in no time. Let's dive right in.
Well, hey there, Swire. Thanks for joining us today on the Receipt Paper Podcast. Excited to have you here. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on the show, Joanne.
Awesome. So I know our listeners are going to be so excited to learn from you here today. Just wanted to share your background for everybody who's listening. Let's see, Swire, you were born and raised in Hong Kong, immigrated to Los Angeles in 1996, a proud Asian American who is fluent in Cantonese, Mandarin, and English. You're a seasoned professional who possesses exceptional project management skills, a talent for generating creative ideas, and the ability to turn them into reality. I love that. Some of your notable accomplishments have been receiving the SCORE Award for Small Business Success in 2009 and becoming the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce Ambassador of the Year in 2018. That's awesome. And was named the hashtag Online18 2023 as one of the best promo pros on social media. That's exceptional. Did I leave anything out there, Swire? Anything you want to add to the intro?
No, thank you for the warm introduction.
Yes, I love it. Excited to have your expertise with us today. Today's topic is really around how to turn your customers into mini advocates that can promote your brand. So I think it kind of makes sense for us to start with, why should a business turn your customers into brand advocates? What's the benefit for them?
That's a good question. And I think this is something that actually not get talked about a lot. You know, people love to learn more about how do I get sales? How do I generate leads, right? To get more clients. But once they spend money for your product and services, a lot of the company actually don't spend any effort or resources to retain those customers. You know, that seems to be the case for a lot of businesses. So, you know, wanted to give a couple of suggestions of why you should always maintain your customer and make them happy, so they will be a mini ambassador for your brand.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's huge because so many people, especially in the physical space, you know, you really get the time to tailor that experience with your customers. You have regulars, and it's good to kind of take advantage of that and, you know, see where you can go as far as growing your brand through your customers, right?
Yeah. And you know, there are ways that you could do it with no cost, and there are obviously ways that you could do it with some type of reciprocate, discount, gifts, you know, things like that. You know, happy to dive deeper into it. And give some examples so a listener can, you know, take it, you know, to the store and start implementing them.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. Break it down for us.
So assuming that you have a retail space, right? You have your client coming in. So even if it's the most simple one that I've seen that works, depending on your business, is to create a corner of your store that people can take selfies on. We all love selfies. You know, there are stores that actually don't allow people to take pictures. And nowadays, I don't see why you want that. And another place, you know, if you have like a coffee shop, if you have a donut place, for example, you know, encourage it to be a Pokemon Go gym. You know, people actually do play the game still, and they'll actually visit your place just to capture those Pokemon. So there are different trends depending on the type of the store that you're in that you could create. And there's no cost way to really to develop your place as a hangout spot. So I know a coffee spot locally. They didn't start up that way, but end up on the weekend, all the people riding the bicycle will end up meeting there and park their car out there, ride the bike, and come back and eat brunch. So those are ways that you can actually create really no cost to generate more traffic to your business.
I love it. Yeah, I love the selfie corner. That's huge. I know we're always trying to encourage people like tag us online and it's great. It's huge. It's such an easy way for you to get in front of more people and it costs you nothing, like you said.
Yeah, and another way would be to encourage, to sponsor local charity or maybe sponsor like a school event, have different meetings or gatherings to be there, so to generate more foot traffic. So that's really an inexpensive way. Obviously you have to spend time planning on it, but everyone should be doing that to create that buzz.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, especially in your local communities, people like to see that too. It kind of makes you feel more a part of the community, like, oh, they're supporting the local community. I want to support them, that kind of thing. Right.
Yeah. And you have to answer the question honestly. People have choices. No matter how unique you think your store will be, they always have the chance not to go there. Right. So, you have to think about and ask this question possibly to a paying customer. When they finish your transaction with you, you want to ask them a really simple question that can help you a lot. What makes you decided to purchase from us today? What did we do right? What did you see in us to make you, spend money on our product and service? And then you take notes, right? Whatever that they said to you, if there are more than two people say the same thing, that's it. That's something that you are unique in front of your target audience. And that's something that you want to stick with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good idea to really ask, like, how did you hear about us? What made you come in here? Because I think a lot of times I'm surprised by the answer. It's something that I totally didn't even think of, or, they were hearing it from a source that I didn't even know was out there advocating for us, right? So yeah, so
Yeah,
great to.
that does bring us to the point. There are people who spend money with you and never tell anyone, right? But there are some that spend little, maybe sometimes a small transaction, but they tell everyone. So it's your job as the store owner to identify those people. And, I think those are where, some type of product or some type of incentive can encourage and, hence to our, discussion for creating a mini ambassador. Imagine you have a local store and then you somehow impress a client and tell everyone about it. So that's when you get more repeat customer, you build loyalties, and then they start telling their friends and their friends. And if you keep on the process and keep up with your good work, so more people are going to come through your door.
Yeah. Yeah. I have found at the end of the day, there really is just nothing like that word of mouth. If you can get a customer out there telling other people to come in, like it just means 10 times more than if you see an advertisement. It goes so much further. So tell me a little bit more about this incentive. What would that look like if you incentivize a customer?
It would depend on your business. And what I like to, when clients ask me that question, I would say, what is the average transaction that is going to be? It's going to be different than like a coffee donut shop versus if you go to like a high-end beauty salon, right? So you spend sometimes a lot of money, right? So the gift should represent the transaction, and the gift is actually your silent ambassador. What it represent your brand. If I spend thousands of dollars and you give me like a 50 cents pen, I probably won't be as happy than if I just walk through your door, buy some coffee and you give me, really a tote bag. That could be really a good gift. So it depends on your industry. And the goal that you want to do is we all have a cell phone. And by you giving that incentive or gift, people take a picture with the gifts and then your store and post it on social media, then that already will be justified the cost because they're now spreading the brand awareness for you. And then, you might become their favorite store that that talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So the process would look something like a customer coming in, they make a purchase, and then you incentivize them with some sort of gift that has obviously your branding on it, right? And then, people utilize that gift out in the real world, and which further promotes your brand. And then, yeah, like you said, they take pictures or they feel, I feel like a lot of people, when they feel like they're getting something, they feel really well taken care of, so that
I would
kind of,
say to get creative, obviously there's
yeah,
not said and done. Think
yeah,
about, most people don't think about what kind of call to action, when
okay,
I hand you that incentive or gifts, what would I like you to do? A lot of people don't think like that. They just thought, okay, so I want to buy pants, we want to buy t-shirts, but what are you trying to do when you give them that t-shirt? Are you trying to, like what we just talked about, take pictures and then share it on the social media? Or maybe you have a follow-up workshop that costs money but by using that incentive, you are promoting that event and have people sign up. Or you just wanted to spread the word and tell everyone at school or at your gym about who we are. So there are different instances. Or you're just trying to grow your social media following, or you're trying to get like a Yelp review, right? So
hmm,
you have to determine what your end goals are, and then
yeah,
so when you decided what gift to get, what kind of budget you should do on the incentive, then that kind of answer the question by itself.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think it's great. There's some awesome ideas there to use it to increase your reviews. That's awesome. And yeah, don't just give it to them without getting something in return, right? So figure out what you want in return and then, use that as the call to action. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. And then I would say all of us love to be a VIP, right? We want to go to the retail place and then they roll out the red carpet for us. It just feels good, right? It's a small touch, but we all feel like VIPs, and you can use that mentality to think about the incentive. Maybe you want to reward your top client. If you come here 10 times, you get this, special gifts from us. And then, so if it's relevant, they could show it off in front of the friends. I'm the value most VIP client in this salon, in this retail place, even in your coffee shop. I have the
Yeah.
gold cup, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that when
Yes.
when when I drink my coffee, then people, oh, okay, wow, where did you get that cup? Then you get people start talking about that cup. If you give them that special gift, then you kind of training them to be your mini ambassador, right? If you're using something
Yeah.
special for your favorite brand, your retail brand, then when your friends see, where did you get that? Then you're
Yeah.
actually using that gift as an opportunity for your mini ambassador to talk about you. All it costs is the cost that you and the effort for come up with that gift. So if you plan it nicely, it could be done.
Yeah. I love that. Um, I can see that working out great to entice people. Like they want to go, you know, come in 10 times to get that gift that you're enticing them with. And then, yeah, they're out there showing it off to other people. I know I go to a row house for workouts, and I think they have like, if you row 50,000 meters you get, this prize. It's like a sweat rag or something. And yeah, you see people in the class that have them, you're like, where did you get that? And they're like, oh, you got to keep coming. And so it just keeps you coming back again and again. So I love that. That is awesome. I can see that being such a good way to keep people coming back, and it's incentivizing them. And I think that's such a big thing in the retail space, is to keep customers coming back to you and not your competitors, not the person across the street. But yeah, I'm going to keep going there so I can get that, um, whatever cool cup, the golden cup.
It might be a small thing, but people love to win and people love to feel like they're the VIP. So like you said, the example for the gym, once you have that, you're gonna wear it every time. And then when people outside the gym ask you, then you are already the mini ambassador for the brand.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. So what do you recommend for people that are trying to pick out these incentives? I know you said, think about the right, your average transaction. Do you have any other recommendations for people that are trying to figure out what promo material or gift option to choose?
I would suggest all the listener think about their ideal client. What that means is, in the business that you're in, you have different clients. Some clients buy once, never come back, but there are people who love to buy from you who spend more money than the average client. Think about who they are. If there are a certain trace or, male, female, maybe the age level, maybe the time that they come in, right? So take notes about that. So by identifying who your ideal client, your dream client will be people who spend a lot with you. And then you could develop a profile. So once you create that profile, there are different items and different incentives that resonate with those people. For example, using the gym example, for people rowing 50,000 meters, they probably really fit, right? They love rowing. So you could surround to items that are enhancing the experience, maybe something that make them feel good, or in the coffee shop example, maybe a nice tumbler. Maybe if you purchase 1,000 cup of coffee, yeah, that's a lot. Then you get this really nice coffee cup. So that since they are doing so much of it, they probably will love getting more of the same thing. So that, again, if you the more that you could craft who your ideal clients are, it will actually save you money too. If you're trying to do like digital marketing, if you're trying to do in-store promotion, if you're trying to do a promotional product, by knowing who they are, by already written down who they are, where they're coming from, then you actually answer all the questions in your marketing already.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, you want them to, obviously, your customers best, what products that will complement your products or services that they'll be out there utilizing. So, I know when we first business was a CBD store, and we noticed that people were constantly asking for lighters and things like that. So that's what prompted us, like, okay, we need to get some material of lighters that have our brand on it, because that's obviously a need that our customers have. And so that was kind of what prompted that idea there.
Yeah, and people love that. Think about your experience when you go to your favorite restaurant. They already know that you want ice water when you come in, and then they give you free bread, right? When you go to a gym, they already give you a towel, knowing that, this is the machine that you want to do and clean it up for you. So how would that make that feel? It's really cost them nothing to do, and just knowing your what you wanted. And this is the experience that you want to create in your store. So already know your client. This is probably what they want to your store. You already create the experience for them. So when they walk in, again, going back to being a VIP, they're already, wow, they're rolling out the red carpet for us. They know exactly what we wanted. Why go elsewhere? This is where I want it to be.
Yeah. And I think that's such a big benefit of, in person versus online. Like, I mean, you can still send free promo material if you're buying something online, I'm sure. But, when you walk into a store and they're handing you something that, isn't easily shippable, or something tangible, I think that's really a part of the experience of walking into a physical storefront, right?
I think, a lot of people think about digital marketing, and sometimes I get digital marketing expert debate me the effectiveness of promotional product. And I come to term that it's not versus, it's you could actually combine them together. Think about, let's say, we're talking at the end of the year right now, people doing a lot of shopping, right? What if you could utilize your social media following and you create a sweepstakes or a call to action where they can only redeem by following you, and then go to your store and spend X amount of dollar, and then you can win this gift. People love to win. Now you're creating opportunity for them to follow you, to come to your store for the chance to win something. Sometimes you could create a sweepstake for one item. And then people still go crazy. I can't tell you how many times I give up my phone number or email address just to try to win something, which I didn't. So think about fun things like that. It could be done.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever won a sweepstakes or giveaway yet. I still continue to enter every time. But
that's a good way to combine digital and tangible product. Like you have one tangible product, but people have to follow the call to action that you determine, which is maybe sign up a newsletter, follow you, or whatever that might be. But then you're using the gift as an incentive for people to take action.
I love that. I love it. That's awesome. What do you think too? I'd love your expertise here. I've noticed so many storefronts and retail locations, the bags that they use when people check out, they never have like their branding or company name. A lot of times they'll just be using like a plain bag. Do you think they're missing out there on not having, their branded bag when a customer leaves their storefront?
It could be, that could be, what we also talk about, depending on your business, you don't think about promotional product as something that you purchase and just give away. Like people
Yeah.
sometimes don't like that. I'm giving away money. Like people want to keep
Yeah.
all their money. What if you develop your brand that so you have a lot of loyal client and you actually use the promotional product as a merchandise? Think about Starbucks. We go to Starbucks. When I travel, we look for Starbucks mug that is in the city, and we actually buy it. It's not cheap, right? We buy the
Yeah.
tumbler. And then when you go to the fitness gym, sometimes they will sell you a fitness garment that is like $100.
Yeah.
If you have the brand loyalty, you can actually create them as a merchandise to increase your revenue. People will buy things from your brand. They'll actually pay you for it. So think
Yeah.
about, I just flip it, right? What if you get instead of get the cheapest bag that you could find, what if you get a nicer quality bag that the clients are going to
Yeah.
use, and you sell it to them?
Yeah.
If it is relevant, people will buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I mean, I know I love like graphic tees. I'm a sucker for like when I go to a store and they have like some cool, cute, trendy t-shirt. Like I'm always buying those. Or I know Kyle, he's a sucker for the hats. Like anytime he's always buying hats. So yeah. Yeah, people will pay for branded products for sure.
If you have the brand loyalty, it takes a while to create. You can just slap your logo and think
Yeah.
people will buy. It would be nice to introduce after you have some loyalty and you have some regulars. So those people will not only pay for it, and they will actually wear it, as their favorite, item, and then become your minion. Like people will pay you to become your ambassador. Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? That's a win-win right there. So somebody that wants to dabble in like, promo materials and these incentives and different ideas, where do you suggest they begin?
I think the first way really is to study your target audience, because the first question, if we do decided to work together, is who your ideal client. And then a lot
Yeah.
of times people will tell me everyone, right? I own a coffee shop, I own a gym, everyone wants to get fit, right? Uh,
No?
by determining the dream client, going back to what we just talked about, who spends the most money with you, who goes to your retail space the most. Tell me
Yeah.
more about who they are,
Right.
gender, age, income level, the time that they come in. So then, we have access to over 10,000 items. You don't need to see 10,000 items from us.
Yeah.
What you would like to do is find something relevant to connect with your target audience. And in turn, when they're using your product throughout their daily life, they talk about you, they send more people to you, they,
Yeah.
leave a better review for you on the review site. How would you value that? So I think for everyone listening, determining who your ideal clients are, you can have more than one, right? You can
Yeah.
have more than one. Maybe this group of people like to buy certain product that we have. The other one like certain features of what we do. So really before you spend any money doing marketing, determine who your ideal clients are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's so important because that way you're not, buying things that, if people aren't finding interesting, then there's no incentivizing them, right? So you gotta make sure you're getting the right products, right?
Yeah, you want them to feel like a VIP, because when people think about our industry, they use the word swag, which stands for stuff we all get. So that create waste and it goes to landfill. And if you give me another cheap bag, I'm not going to use it. But if you know who I am, the person, the things that I like and it's relevant to me, I immediately take pictures and share it to all my social media. It's just
Yeah.
me. That would be something from the ideal client to share your message right away. It takes a little bit to get to that. But once you know them better than they know their buying experience, then that's when the magic happens. That's when people telling all their friends about you. It happens, and you just have to find the right examples or tell the right story for them to do that for you.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen companies that have really nailed those promo materials, and it's just the perfect thing that, their ideal customer wants to utilize every day or was really, really excited to get. And it does make such a big difference in spreading that word of mouth and creating those mini brand advocates. So I love that. And Swire, it sounds like you really spend time with your clients to help them, figure out that product and what the right one is for them. So can you share with our listeners like what that process looks like or how people can work with you?
Yeah, Joanne, I create a special landing page for your listener. I'll send it to you. If you could include that on the show notes. This is a complimentary strategy section which I would learn more about your brand. If you can share with me some of the strategy and then your ideal client to me, we can come up with a personalized promotional product that is prepared for you. So it could be something that for brand awareness, or like we're saying, if you have been in business for a while, it's actually will help you on the bottom line to create a branded merchandise. So happy to jump on that call, and then you can schedule me on the link.
Awesome. I love that. I highly recommend you guys take advantage of this session. I think the fact that you can sit down and talk to someone instead of just, perusing a website and trying to guess on what materials or, promo items would make sense for your store is such a huge win. So I will make sure to put this link for a free strategy session with Swire in the show notes. But Swire, it has been an absolute pleasure. I think you've given me a ton of ideas, and I hope everyone else to think about here with their businesses.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Receipt Paper Podcast, your go-to source of information for starting and growing a successful brick-and-mortar business. Subscribe to hear future episodes and share this content so that more people can access these valuable insights. If you're looking for more resources to help you with your brick-and-mortar business, visit masterbrickandmortar.com or follow us on Instagram at masterbrickandmortar. Thanks again for listening to the Receipt Paper Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.